जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन बल्लभा जय गिरिवर तारी जय गिरिवर तारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा शिल प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा शिल प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय ओ विष्णुपाद परमहंस डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तविंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोलोकानंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री मथुरा धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, सामवेद भक्तविंद की, श्री गौर निताय की, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, बृहद मृदंग की, गौर प्रेमानंदी. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutle Shri Gopakal Krishna Samhita Namne Prabhupada Saitam Bhagat Sevitrasya Chapacharam Katab Sadhu Bhagat Padate Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutle Shri Bhakti Ansarthi Namaste Saraswati गौर वाणी बिचानी निर्विशेष शून्य आदि पाश्चात्य तीस्ता. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Hare Krishna. So, we're going to continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 47th chapter, and today's verse is 24. Danavrata tapohoma japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyabhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir hi sadhyate Danavrata tapohoma japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyobhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir hi sadhyate Danavrata tapohoma Japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyobhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir sadhyate Danavrata tapohoma Japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyobhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir sadhyate Danavrata tapohoma Japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyabhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir sadhyate Danavrata tapohoma Japa swadhyaya samyamai Shreyabhir vividhaschanya Krishna bhaktir sadhyate Dhanvrata tapahoma Japa swadhyaya samvara Krishna bhakti risadhyate. Word for word meaning. Dana, by charity. Vrata, strict vows. Tapa, austerities. Homa, fire sacrifices. Japa, private chanting of mantras. Swadhyaya, study of Vedic texts. Samyamai, and regulative principles. Shreyobhi, by auspicious practices. Vividhai, various. Also, cha, also. Anye, others. Krishna, to Lord Krishna. Bhakti, devotional service. He, indeed. Sadhyate, is realized. Translation and purport by disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Devotional service unto Lord Krishna is attained by charity, strict vows, austerities, and fire sacrifices. By japa, study of Vedic texts, observance of regulative principles, and indeed by the performance of many other auspicious practices. Please repeat. Devotional service unto Lord Krishna is attained by charity, strict vows, austerities, and fire sacrifices. By japa, study of Vedic texts, observance of regulative principles, and indeed by the performance of many other auspicious practices. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains the processes described here as follows. Dana, donations given to Lord Vishnu and his devotees. Vrata, observing vows such as Ekadashi. Tapas, renunciation of sense gratification for Krishna's sake. Homa, fire sacrifices dedicated to Vishnu. Japa, privately chanting the holy names of the Lord. Swadhyay, study and recitation of Vedic texts such as Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Om Jnana Trimandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desutarine Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavevacha Patita Nam Pavane Bhayo Vaishnave Bhayo Namo Nama. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishwanath Ishmadaya Bhutale, Shrimate Gopal Vishnu Goswami Namne Prabhupada Sasayate Prakasyavata Sacha. Pachanam Kato Sadhu Bhagavad Padate Namo. Namo Vishwanath Ishmadaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desata. So with the permission of all the Vaishnavas assembled here, I'd like to speak a little bit about this verse. So the verse is Dhanvrata tapo homa japa swadhyaya samyamai shreyo bir vividaschanya Krishna bhaktir hi sadhyate. Devotional service unto Lord Krishna is attained by charity, strict vows, austerities, and fire sacrifices, by japa, study of Vedic texts, observance of regulatory principles, and indeed by the performance of many other auspicious practices. So we're going to start a little bit by reading from the Tikas of the Acharyas. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that devotional service to Krishna is produced by various processes, sadhana such as giving. In the case of bhakti, giving, dan must refer to giving to Vaishnavas. Vrata must refer to Vaishnava vratas like Ekadashi. Tapa must refer to giving up objects of enjoyment for Krishna's sake. Krishnat bhoga tyage. Homa refers to Vaishnava homas and japa refers to chanting Vishnu mantras. Swadhyaya refers to recitation of the Gopal Tapani Upanishad and other texts concerning Krishna. Other auspicious practices refer to those actions which are angas of bhakti, producing bhakti. That is because other practices such as dana, tapa, etc. in themselves are incapable of producing bhakti. Jiva Goswami says, all auspicious acts like charity and other like jnana, sakya and yoga are successful when offered to Krishna. Bhakti, a taste of hearing about the Lord and other processes onto Bhagavan Krishna, is accomplished when these processes are offered to the Lord. Neskarmanya api achyuta bhavajitam nashobhate jnanam alam niranjanam kuta puna saswad abhadrameshware na chapitam karma yad api akarnam. Even the stage of jnana without the bondage of karma is not glorious if it is devoid of bhakti to the Supreme Lord. What is the use of having destroyed ignorance? What then to speak of sakarma karma, which causes suffering, both during practice and at the stage of perfection, and nishkam karma when not offered to the Lord. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.12. He continues, this fact is expressed positively and negatively in the following verse. Savai pumsa paro dharma yato bhakti radoksache aituki apratihata yayatma suprasidhati. The supreme dharma for all human beings, sadhana bhakti, is that by which prema bhakti to the Lord arises, which is not caused by anything other than itself, cannot be obstructed, and which satisfies the mind completely. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. And then in 1.2.8, he's continuing, Dharma swanustita punsa vishvakshena kathausya not padayet yati ratim ashram eva hi kevalam. Varnashram dharma of the human being, which does not produce attraction for topics of the Lord, is only vested effort. In the verse, vrata means following rules. Tapa refers to austerities, and samyama means control of the senses. And Sanatana Goswami says, success is attained by attaining Krishna, not by concentrating the mind. This is expressed in 2 verses. Vrata means austerities. Tapa means following one's dharma. Homa means sacrifices. Swadhyaya means study of the Vedas. Samyama means control of all the senses. Dana means charity, and japa means chanting silently. Since these are necessary and known among people as the best actions, they are clearly mentioned. By jnana, shreyo, and other methods such as liberation, one can also attain the Lord. Vividai modifies all the items. These various types of liberation, such as salokya, etc., according to Vedanta Nyaya, the rest is clear. The order of methods in accordance to increasing effectiveness. By these methods, certainly, he, bhakti to Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is accomplished. Otherwise, whatever else is attained by these methods is useless. Dharma swanasthita pumsam. Varnashram dharma of the human being, which does not produce attraction for topics of the Lord, is only wasted. So, we've been reading about the visit of Uddhava. Uddhava comes to Braja at the request and direction of Krishna, with a very special message for the gopis. And when he comes, he creates a lot of disturbances in Braja. First, first they think that Krishna himself comes, and everybody's hearts are going crazy. Then they realize there's a disappointment. So, like this is our second chapter with Uddhava. So, this chapter, Gopis, Radharani, they're talking to the bumblebee, and the whole feelings that they're having about Krishna. They express their madness at Krishna by talking to the bumblebee. So all this is going on. And Uddhava is in Braja, and he comes to Braja, and at first he meets Yashoda Maiya and Nanda Baba. Now, we have to understand, Uddhava is a very, very dear devotee of Krishna. He's dearly loved by Krishna. Krishna in Dwarka is always talking to Uddhava. He's taking he's asking Uddhava's advice, and he follows Uddhava's advice. And so Uddhava, at this point, when he comes to Braja, he knows himself as a very of Krishna. He thinks himself a very special devotee of Krishna. And in fact, that is the reason that Krishna sends him. Because he's a very special devotee of Krishna, Krishna wants him to recognize where he really is and what is the level of his devotion. Krishna is very kind. Once he's adopted us as his devotee, we're going down the path of devotion, and Krishna is recognizing us as having this desire to, he facilitates it. And Krishna knows that Uddhava really cannot attain his true love, Krishna's true love, until he actually sees Vraja, until he actually gets to Vraja, where this love is just flowing from everyone. So without actually getting to Vraja, he will not be able to get that feeling of real love, true love. So Krishna sends Uddhava to Vraja. And when Uddhava comes to Raja, he meets, first people he meets is Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya. Now, Uddhava is a jnani. He's a jnani. He loves Krishna very dearly, but he's a jnani. He's in knowledge. And he has a lot of knowledge. So he starts out by sharing knowledge with Nand Maharaj and Yashoda. He talks to them about, things like Brahma Bhuta, Prasannatma, Na Sochti, Na Kanchti. It's like, no need to worry, no need to be upset. That is, that is what you're supposed to be. And Mother Yashoda immediately kicks him out so to speak. She's too polite. But she's like, well, get out of here. Krishna as the Supreme Lord is okay for you. But here, he is my son. And I have to take care of him. When he doesn't, he cries when he's hungry. So I got to feed him. You get out of here. Here he's not, there's no Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's the kind of love that Mother Yashoda and Nand Maharaj display to Uddhava. It's like Krishna sent him here because he wanted him to understand this love. And Krishna did that. Krishna does that all the time to his devotees. He did that with Arjuna as well. With Arjuna, he was always talking to him, playing with him. Like when they growing up, they played together. Then they were like buddies, and they did everything together, and walked and talked and chatted like buddies, and had all that. But in there, Krishna also somehow imparted knowledge, and he of course imparted the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. But on day-to-day dealings also, Krishna was demonstrating to Arjuna what it means to really love him, and what is bhakti. And he teaches him throughout Bhagavad Gita, and ultimately ends with Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That is the beginning of bhakti. And at various times, he demonstrated bhakti to him. There's a pastime where Krishna and Arjuna are walking on the Yamuna, banks of Yamuna, and they're chatting away. And they come across a dead body and a jackal going around this dead body. So as they is going around the dead body, Arjuna is saying, go on, why are you going around? There's your prey, there's your food. Why are you not having your food? And this jackal, he's just talking to himself, and he's like, come on. And, eat the food. There is the food right there. He's going around some more, and going around and sniffing, whatever, going around again and again. And so Arjuna was thinking, what's he doing? Why is he not just having his food? It's right there. And Krishna then, after a while, Krishna just says to the jackal, why are you not having your food? You're always looking for food. And here's your prey, here's your food. Why don't you eat it? So the jackal says, well, I am a devotee, and I only eat prasadam. So I am trying to establish if this body is prasadam. So I'm checking to see if he has tilak. I'm checking, sniffing at his nose to see if he's smelled, incense. I'm going around looking, what are the kinds of clothes he's wearing, sniffing at his feet, if they've been to temple. So he's going around sniffing, looking at this dead body to establish if that's a devotee. So Arjuna was kind of shocked, and the whole the acharyas tell this story. I can't give you a reference of it. I heard it from one of our senior sannyasis in our movement, Prabhupada disciples. So, but he says this is the attitude that we as devotees have. Devotees in the movement. We're always trying to establish who's a devotee by external features, by looking at them, is he in jeans or is he in dhoti? Oh, he's in jeans, he's a no good devotee. He's not a devotee. And, we do a lot of this as externals too, and we don't recognize that bhakti is really an internal process. And that's the way we have to have bhakti internally, not externally. It is not an external. So we have to kind of get away from the Jekyll mentality of always trying to establish if somebody is a devotee, and whether or not we should associate with them by external features. We can really, any kind of association, any kind of establishment of people, somebody's bhakti has to be to recognize the internal behavior of the person, and not by just external. Somebody could be great at chanting mantras, able to, like that, recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, great Sanskrit. That doesn't mean that they are devotees. So a lot of this bhakti, people's bhakti has to be seen from their internal meditations, from their behavior, because all of that does come out in external behavior, but it is an internal process. So now Krishna sent Uddhava to Vrindavan, because in Dwarka, Uddhava had what's called Purna Bhakti. It is called Purna Bhakti. It's a complete Bhakti. So it's not like he was like Uddhava was not a pure devotee of the Lord. So in Dwarka, it is said, Rupa Goswami says that the Bhakti is Purna, complete. But in Mathura, it's Purnata, which is superior to Dwarka. And in Vrindavan, it is Purnatamam, which is absolute, complete. So there's complete, more complete, and most complete. And so in Mathura, in Dwarka, there is the knowledge of Krishna and his opulence. In Mathura, there is the knowledge of Krishna's supreme position. And in Vrindavan, there's no opulence, no knowledge, but only prema. And the devotees of Vrindavan are superior to all devotees of Krishna. So Uddhava comes to Vrindavan to understand that. Uddhava has spent his lifetime eating Krishna prasadam, hearing about Krishna's pastimes, thinking of Krishna, and that's why he thought he was a great devotee. So then when he comes here and he speaks to Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya, he recognizes that these are not the devotees that he's used to. This bhakti here in Vraja is totally different. And now he's gone to gopis. And he doesn't really know what to say, because he sees them but he starts talking to them. Yesterday he started talking to them, and he's talking about what bhakti is and how to get there. But the gopis really don't need this process that we just, that he's talking about here. He's talking about this step-by-step process. But he says this is the way to get there, but very quickly in the next verse, he says, well, but you are above all this. You don't need anything. And the reason that the gopis don't need any of these steps, the tapa, the dana, the austerities that we talk about in this verse, is because they are always realized. They are expansions of their expansions of the internal energy of the Lord. They are the internal energy of the Lord. And as such, they are nitya siddha. But these steps, these processes are for us, the nitya badas. So Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 8:7, he's like, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna. And at the same time, continue your prescribed duties. The gopis didn't have any prescribed duties. They were completely surrendered to Krishna. So the only thing they had in their life was love for Krishna. So everything they did was for the love of Krishna. But we cannot emulate gopis. We cannot. We can follow in the footsteps in the sense that we're trying to get to the surrender, but we cannot copy. So we cannot pretend to be in what's called gopi bhava. We need to continue down our path, continue on our prescribed duties, but always think of Krishna. So in that 8:7 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, you need to continue your prescribed duty of fighting. But with your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. I think it's kind of important that Krishna says your intelligence. Prabhupada said all the time that we need to be Krishna conscious with intelligence, not just sentiments. Because if we do that, that would be a downfall. So we need to continue all of these that Krishna is Uddhava is talking about, which is the tapa, dana, tapa, homas, japa, swadhyay. Got all of those, right? Tapa, dana, vrata. Okay? So we need to do all of these. Those are the processes that have been described. And it's just amazing how Prabhupada's system that he has set for us is totally all these items. Totally these items, these steps, dana to the temples, to the devotees. And I mean, we were with our Guru Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, last month, and most devotees he met, he asked them, devotees that are doing their prescribed duties, who are working, making a living, he asked them, are you donating to your local temple? Donating to your local temple. That is this dana that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains here. So, and Prabhupada has given us Ekadashi vow. Now, Ekadashi vow is an interesting one because we went to Jagannath Puri and the devotees there don't observe Ekadashi vow. Yeah. And the reason is they're like, well, we're only eating Jagannath Prasad, so we don't do that. So some devotees start arguing about this. Why are we following Ekadashi vow if you're having Krishna Prasadam, which is sinless, sin-free? We do it because we're in the line of Lord Chaitanya and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. All these, like here I'm talking. Okay, we're in Lord Chaitanya's line, and Lord Chaitanya clearly asked us to do Ekadashi Vrat, and Prabhupada asked us to do Ekadashi Vrat. So there doesn't need to be any argument, any discussions on why should we follow Ekadashi. So it's not that we are above Jagannath Puri devotees, no. It's just that we have a certain path and we should be following that so that we can get step by step where we need to go. Prabhupada has given us his books. So Swadhyay is so important. Studying all his books on a regular basis. And chanting. Totally, that is our core business, is to chant the holy name so that we get purified and eventually get onto the path of bhakti. And through that, pure love of Krishna. Everybody seems to be in a big hurry to get to this pure love of Krishna. We should be anxious, we should be getting there, but we should not be shortcutting and through our imagination thinking we're becoming, we're pure bhaktas, we have love for Krishna. No, it'll come. And the more it comes, the less we will think that we have it. Because the real pure devotees of Krishna really don't think they have love for Krishna. So We need to just not try to emulate this love that the gopis have. And this verse really is for us, even though Uddhava is talking to gopis about it. So, with that, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Golokanand ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Driya Vriti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham.
Yasomati Nanda. ब्रजबर नागर गोकुल रंजन काना गोपी बरन धन मदन मनोहर गोपी बरन धन मदन मनोहर कालिया दमन विधाना कालिया दमन विधाना आमल हरिना ममी अभिलाषा आमल हरिना ममी अभिलाषा विपिन पुरंदर नवीन नगर वर बंसी बतन सुवासा विपिन नवीन नगर वर बंसी बदन सुवासा विपिन पुरंदर नवीन नगर वर बंसी बदन सुवासा ब्रज जन पालन असुर कुल नासन ब्रज जन पालन असुर कुल नासन नंद गोधन रखवाला नंद गोधन रखवाला गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर गो गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला सुंदर नंद गोपाला यमुना तट चर गोपी बसन हर रस रसिक कृपा माया यमुना यमुना तट चर गोपी बसन हर रस रसिक कृपा माया श्री राधा बल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर श्री राधा बल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर भक्ति विनोद दशाया भक्ति विनोद दशाया यशोमती नंदन ब्रज बरनागर गोकुल रंजन कान्हा यशोमती नंदन ब्रज बरनागर गोकुल रंजन कान्हा श्री राधा बल्लभ वृंदावन नटवर भक्ति विनोदा श्राया हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोलोक नंद राधा गोलोक राधे जय राधा गोलोक नंद राधा गोलोक नंद राधे जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय वृंदावन धाम जय जय पंच तत्वा जय पंच तत्वा जय पंच तत्वा जय पंच तत्वा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय हो विष्णुपाद परमहंस डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वंद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तविंद की जय श्री श्री राधा गोलोक नंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय श्री मथुरा धाम की जय श्री नवद्वीप धाम की जय गंगा मई की जय जमुना मई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय सामवेद भक्तविंद की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय बृहद मृदंग की जय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada The wealth of the lives of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid, and punisher of serpent Kalia. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Raja, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute and excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Raja, destroyer of demonic dynasties, keeper and tender, giver of pleasure to God's land. Husband of the goddess of fortune, but a thief and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nand Maharaj, wanderer of the Yamuna river banks, thief of the garments of Gopi, knew the mellows of precedence, very merciful lover, and Shri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Shikshastakam, page 12. Cheto darpan marjanam, bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam, shreya kerav parvita vitaranam, vidyavadujumanam, anandam buddhi vardhanam, pratipadam puna swadanam, sarvatma snapanam param vijayate, Shri Krishna sankirtanam, nam namakari
एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशम् इह जानिनानुरागः त्रिनादपि शुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानिन मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनैश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिर्हैतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निजितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्राविशायतं शून्यायतं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लेष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मामदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटौ मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः प्रभुराशिष्टाष्टक श्लोक ये परिशूने कृष्ण प्रेम भक्ति तर बड़े दिने दिने It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases in the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.